What happens when you can't make a decision? Hello, and today's insight is going to be about making a decision, right? So, one of my coaches, JT Fox, which I've talked a couple of times on here, has this thing, and he says one of the most important things to be able to do, one of the most important abilities, is to be able to make a decision, to take a decision, to follow through with it. And so, if ever you find yourself, like I found myself this morning, in a pickle, right? And it just so happened that the recording I listened to right after of JT was talking specifically about this, and he said, "So whatever the situation you are in front of, look at it, be like, okay, so what's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? And what's the most likely scenario? And with that, make a decision. Is it time for you to cut it out of your life, or is it time for you to buckle down and go deeper into it?" And this has happened to me a couple of times in my lifetime. And the reason why I say this is because there's no surprise, okay, I'm a little more emotional. I've been proud of the fact that I'm very much in tune with my emotions, but that I'm able to still stay grounded and make the best choice for me. The issue with that is that sometimes when the lines between all of that get blurred, you're like, what do I do next? Am I listening too much to my emotions, or am I actually doing something that is gonna assist me in moving forward in life, right? Because if you do nothing but second guess your decision, it might be problematic. So that's when this comes in handy. What's the best case, what's the worst case, and what's the most likely? And so, not that it is necessarily easier, but at least it gives you a better vantage point, a better way to decide, right? And a better way to quickly move on from something that is plaguing you. I mean, there's one thing I appreciate. I appreciate different perspectives because they widen your depth of vision, or at least they widen your ability to your consciousness, right? They help you see farther. Of course, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable because it's making you expand and grow as an individual. And I say this because you probably might not know this about me, but I am, like, at the moment, I spend most of my time with businessmen or men in business, okay? And you'd be like, but why? But at least they give me a different perspective, and that's what I like, because sometimes those individuals have difficulty communicating with people who are less capable of taking themselves out of the situation and putting themselves in a different perspective. Or, like, if they are able to close, what I meant to say is if they are up to date with their closing abilities, that is just them being able to communicate with pretty much everyone, right? So, to come back around to the topic at hand, the idea is that you use this to develop your intuition as well as your foresight, right? Now, the trick is to steer clear of, well, the way that JT talks about it is going about it through your gut, because in intuition, in your body, there are three main organs that help you intuit things, okay? Tap into your intuition. You have your gut, you have your spleen, and you have your heart. Okay, so your gut is more about the flight or flight aspect of what you should run from and what you should go towards. Then you have your spleen, which is an instantaneous intuitive style. Not everyone has it, but you can develop it. It's the intuitive style that I mainly have. That has its own issues. Then you have your heart, and your heart, being your oldest organ, is a little bit more wise. But you have to make sure that it is your heart and not your ego talking. And I will give you an example, alright? So, at work, I work with a couple of people, and at this point, there's a little less income coming into the store, so they're cutting our hours. Now, someone told me to want more hours, but I know for a fact that if I want more hours, he will cut hours for other employees. And so I haven't asked for other hours because I know that I need to work on my stuff, which will later down the road, allow me to make more money for me. But I won't be able to make more money, like put myself in a situation where I can make more money for me if I work more hours. So I haven't asked for more hours, but I need to. But the important thing is that I ask myself, okay, what's best for me in the long run? Should I work more hours now, or should I dedicate more time to my craft? And I chose to dedicate more time to my craft. But that's just me. So I decided to dedicate more time to my craft so that I can help more of the collective. Is there a situation where you need to step back and ask yourself, is this only for me, or will this help the collective? Let me know.